Welcome to episode 6 of the Tuesday Talk IU Athletic Podcast. Joined by Director of Athletic Communications Larry Dealman and Student Assistant Connor Kukowski, I am Sports Information Director Andy Alvarez, bringing you information on the past week of Immaculata Athletics and previewing the week ahead. Fall teams are now into Atlantic East Conference play, and the race for spots in the Atlantic East Conference tournaments in each of the sports are at stake, and important games, conference games this week for all our teams. Cross country had another strong showing at the Rowan Border Battle. Men's and women's tennis concluded their fall campaigns, and men's and women's swimming will open their season on Friday. Later in the show, we'll have our guest for this week. We spoke with Rachel Madden of the field hockey team. So let's get things rolling with men's soccer.
So men's soccer opened up the week. They went 1-on-1 in the week. They had a non-conference game. It was a rescheduled game with Hood College down in Maryland. They lost it 1-0. Highlight moment came when goalkeeper Tyler Weiss saved a penalty kick in the 89th minute to keep IU in the game. So just another extra game in the middle of conference play to keep them loose and keep them ready to go to earn a big 3-0 win over Pratt for senior day on Saturday. Prior to the game, Immaculata honored seniors of Daniel O'Rourke, Cooper McKinney, Jonathan Olale, Jaden Jones, Daniel Becker, Nico Manolfi, and Alex Corsones. Senior Cooper McKinney scored his first goal, assisted by senior Daniel O'Rourke, fitting for senior day. Cooper's been battling a lot of injuries this season, so it was good to see him get one. And senior Daniel Becker scored his first collegiate goal, assisted by Kyle Coleman. And Michael Prohl scored the third goal, assisted by Carlos Cano, a freshman. Got their first Atlantic East Conference win this season. So that was big, and they have a tough week ahead with men's soccer. They will visit Newman on Wednesday. Obviously, Newman has won the championship the last couple of years and will host Gwen and Mercy on Saturday. So good productive week for men's soccer. A good win over Pratt. What did you guys think? Obviously, good for the seniors to get in on the action.
It was a really good win for them. Noted that all three goals were scored with headers in this game, so they figured out how to score with their heads, which was nice to see that for senior day. Particularly, some really nice goals, a real nice cross by Daniel O'Rourke on the first goal to that basically just found the head of Cooper McKinney, and that was a really nice goal. And then Becker double head, a throw in, headed by Kyle Coleman towards the net. Becker runs in, headed it in. And then obviously Michael Prohl picking up another goal for the Mighty Max. It was a good win, a good way to, you know, kind of gets them right there in the middle of that standings, battling for that fifth and final spot in the Atlantic East Conference tournament. So that was a good win for them. It was real important, and if they could find a way to get some results this week, maybe get a pointer, get some points or 3 points maybe on Saturday, that could really help their cause for getting into the conference tournament this year.
Yeah, some great games overall. The last couple of games, and it been really good to see a 3-0 shutout, especially the last couple of AAC games where they've been scoreless draws. The Marymount game a couple weeks ago, which was scoreless on both sides, was great, but going against the conference opponent and getting 3 goals, like Andy said, all on headers was definitely great to see, especially for like Daniel Becker, who got his first collegiate goal. Just an overall great day on senior day. And hopefully, as they see Newman and Gwynedd this week, get some more wins and put up some great results. Bear with me, guys. I'm getting over a cold. That's why my voice sounds weird.
No problem, Larry. And Daniel Becker was our Mighty Mac of the week, named by our Sports Information and Athletic Communications office. So congratulations to Daniel for earning that honor.
All right, moving on to women's volleyball. Women's volleyball has had a nice little stretch recently. 3-1 last week. They played 4 matches, including one doubleheader. Penn State Schuylkill, they swept on Tuesday and unfortunately lost the second part of the doubleheader to Washington College. So Tuesday, we celebrated Hispanic Heritage Night and we had a group of dancers performing a traditional Mexican dance after the first set of the Washington College match. Thursday was a 4-set win over Penn State Brandywine. And then on Saturday, women's volleyball went up to Brooklyn and beat Pratt in a 4-set match. They lost the first set in a tight one, but then the next 3 sets were pretty much all Immaculata from there. Angelica Santini Buellerin, who we've talked about plenty of times on the podcast this season, another outstanding week, a combined 18 kills, 87 assists, 7 service aces, 37 digs, and 6 total blocks across 4 matches. and Adriana Ventura with a combined 15 assists, 6 aces, and 45 digs over the 4 matches. Women's volleyball now has a crucial match on Saturday. They will host Marywood at 1 o'clock at Alumni Hall. Marywood is 19-3 right now. Very tough team. So if they can pull out a win, that would be absolutely huge in the playoff running, wouldn't it be, Andy?
Definitely would be. You could really see this team building as the season is going along. Obviously, you have a lot of new players, new coach, and Mary's done a great job of getting, these girls playing together, and you could really see them taking steps forward, even when they play these better schools. They've been able to be competitive in some of those sets. So I think going into these big matches within the conference as you're going down the stretch, as they're sitting 2-0 in the conference right now, fighting for to get into top five to get into the conference tournament this year. You could see, there's opportunity there for this team when they go in now playing Marywood. Yeah, they're gonna have to play Gwynedd yet. They're gonna have to play Newman. They go into these matches, you think with a better chance and Centenary as well to try to get some results for them and try to get into the conference tournament this year.
I mean, yeah, we're already seeing big improvement from volleyball. I mean, Pratt, we lost them last year, so it was good to see them get the 3-1 win. I mean, Mary did a great job of bringing in a lot of people that's definitely helped. I mean, a lot of first years that work well with our upperclassmen, which is huge, especially when we lost people like Dinah and Emily Ian from the years past. So that all helps. And yeah, they definitely have a good flow going. They have a good rotation. They're good at communicating. They're good with the blocks. Aces have been huge for them. I think Lauren Gartman had a good amount of aces in the Pratt game. So good things to see from women's volleyball.
Moving along into field hockey, the field hockey team earned a solid 2-0 victory at Manhattanville in the Atlantic East Conference opener on Friday, 2-0. Immaculata pretty much controlled the game, limiting the Valiants to just 2 shots on goal throughout the game. A real key moment in this was just about 4 minutes and 55 seconds into the first quarter. Manhattanville was awarded a penalty stroke. Coach Kate Stopper didn't agree with the stroke being awarded at that point. But fortunately, goalkeeper Mackenzie Schrack saved the attempt to keep the game scoreless, and that was big. You don't want to ever get behind early in the game on the road. Maria Baronato opened the scoring for Immaculata with her first goal of the season, assisted by Gabby O'Brien, 9 minutes and 6 seconds into the second quarter. And that goal held up to be the game-winning goal. Good to see Maria get on the board. Alexis Andrada was able to break her scoring drought, scored her 10th goal of the season, tied her what was a freshman record amount last year with her 10th goal at 12:28 in the third quarter to round out the scoring. Great play off of insert on a penalty corner from Abby Feckerty. She carried it around the flyer, then flicked the backhand into the top of the net for the goal. Mackenzie Schrack earned her third shutout of the season. Maria Freeman played an outstanding game, basically controlling the midfield area for them. Great to see her. And for her efforts, she was named the Atlantic East Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Maria Baronato was named to the weekly honor roll for her game-winning goal in the game. And he also had Rachel Madden, who was our guest on the show later on. Victoria Atkinson and Abby Feckerty were solid on the defensive end for Immaculata. The Mighty Macs have two big AEC games this week, hosting Marywood on Wednesday at 4 p.m. at Draper Wall Stadium, and then they travel to Gwynedd Mercy on Saturday. What do you guys think? I mean, it's good to see this field hockey team really take that first step into earning a conference playoff spot with that win on Friday.
Yeah, it's a great performance overall going to Manhattanville and starting AEC playoff with a win. And what's different about the conference for field hockey versus some of our other sports is that field hockey is only 5 teams. So 4 teams are going to get in, and starting off with a win means you're putting yourself in a position to grab at least the 4 seed, if not higher. So if they, Andy and I were talking about it earlier, if they get at least one more win, they should be in a good spot to clinch that last playoff spot at the very minimum. Again, if not higher, but a great way to start overall.
Yeah, and it was good for Strack finding her groove again. She ran into some tough games there in the past, and having a good shutout win like this and saving that big penalty stroke was huge in this game. And yeah, Maria Freeman, she's was named the defensive player of the week this week, so it definitely showed that she's keeping the ball in the midfield for them and giving them chances. But yeah, good for field hockey to start off with a conference win this week.
Moving along into cross country, the cross country team, so we're back in action, competing Saturday at the Rowan Border Battle, a big race with several teams basically up and down the East Coast coming into Logan Township, New Jersey for this. Some big schools like Christopher Newport, Salisbury, a lot of real competitive races. On the women's side, Aubrey Donahue she finished 57th overall, setting an IU program record with a time of 22:57.5, surpassing her previous record of 23:54.0 set last year at the Border Battle in 2024. This was the third consecutive year that she has set the program record at this event. Jayla Gross finished 184th with a personal best time of 25:03.3. Jackie Leone followed with a personal best of 25:43.7. In total, five Immaculata runners set personal best times in that race on the women's side. On the men's side, our very own Connor Kikowski led the team, finishing with a time of 29:08.6, just 1.6 seconds off his personal best time. Jimmy Lauer ran a personal best time of 31:29.4, and a total of five Immaculata runners on the men's side recorded personal bests, highlighting, an improvement on their across the roster for both teams. So, and Aubrey Donahue was named the runner of the week on the women's side by the Atlantic East Conference on Monday afternoon. And our very own Connor Kikowski was named to the Atlantic East Conference Weekly Honor Roll. So congratulations, Connor. What did you guys think about this race this weekend?
Well, thank you for the congratulations, first of all. But yeah, a good race. I mean, this was a nice flat course. We've been dealing with a lot of hills lately, so it was good to get something flat, even though regardless of how many people were in the race. But like one of the things we all did was we just ran our race. We didn't care about any other schools that were there. I mean, the first place guy finished 24 minutes, but it doesn't matter. We all just focused on ourselves, and that's what led to us have success. And hopefully, we can continue that success up in New York when we go to the Atlantic East Conference Championships at the Hudson Valley Sports Dome.
What's it like running in a field with that many runners on the course with you at the same time?
So, like the first part, like when you are waiting for that gun, is the worst thing ever. So, like at the border battle, especially, so they keep everyone on this one side of the cone as they go right into like the little swamp area there is. So, like basically, you just see everyone that's coming from the far side just move over, and it just you gotta like start off slow. I mean, people are falling. I can't tell you how many people I saw fall just in that first few 10 seconds. It was actually crazy. And then like eventually it spaces out when you get to that pack that you need to stick with, but like the start is tough because there's just so many people. There was 330, I think, in total for this race. So definitely one of the biggest races we're gonna see probably the whole season. And we go back there on November 15th for the regionals. That would probably just be about the same, if not more.
Cross country will be back in action in a couple weekends when they go to the Atlantic East Conference Championships up in New York.
We're going to move on to tennis. They finished their fall campaign this weekend at Penn State Abington. Women's tennis was able to beat Penn State Abington on Saturday 5-2 to complete their fall schedule 4-1. So a good overall fall season for the women's tennis team. Delaney Brown won her number one singles match in straight sets and teamed with Haley Elwell to win number one doubles 6-2. Elizabeth Madsen and Lauren Thorough won number two doubles 6-1, and Elwell, Madsen, and Thorough each won their single match in straight sets. The men's team battled. I was talking to Mike DiMattei yesterday about this at the pickleball tournament. If you saw the Sack Instagram page, he actually mentioned this in the post-game interview after he won the pickleball tournament. But they lost a close match to Penn State Abington 4-3 to close their fall schedule 1-3. Easton Ragnow and Patrick Arnold won the number one doubles match 6-4. Patrick Arnold won the number two singles match in straight sets. Nicholas Brown won the number three singles match in straight sets, and Dalton Spencer won the number five singles in straight sets. Tennis is done for the fall. Both teams will resume on Saturday, March 21st, where they will begin AEC play at Marymount.
Yeah, it was one thing to note. Delaney Brown, good to see her, really step forward this week and have a real strong match. She was named the Atlantic East Conference Women's Tennis Player of the Week, and Patrick Arnold on the men's side was named to the AEC Weekly Honor Roll. So congratulations to Delaney and Patrick for their accomplishments this week.
Switching over to women's soccer. Women's soccer fell to Pratt 4-2 in an AEC game over in Manhattan on Saturday. Gabby Palladino scored 2 goals in the second half. First goal was in the 65th minute, assisted by Gracie Rapici, and the second goal was in the 80th minute, assisted by Sofia Mazzata. Immaculata outshot Pratt 17-14 despite the loss and 12-8 in shots on goal. Immaculata had 11 corner kicks to Pratt's 4, and the Mighty Macs have a couple important AEC games coming up. Newman is up first at home on Wednesday over at DWS, and Gwynedd Mercy, that'll be a road game on Saturday. Because of her efforts, Gabby Palladino was named to the AEC Weekly Honor Roll. I believe that is the first time that she is on there this season. So women's soccer definitely has shown a good amount of improvement, and obviously coming off that win against St. Elizabeth, you have a tough loss with Pratt. Two of the last three games here in the regular season are at home, so guys, they have some chances to make some noise with some home games.
Pratt, obviously, you didn't want to lose that game, but they're not out of it yet. And with Newman at home this week, it's going to be huge. They tied Newman last year, so having to be able to get a win here would be good for them. So yeah, I mean, even though the loss to Pratt, you still had good numbers. I mean, the outshot them 17-14 is still pretty good, and it was good to see Gracie and Sophia Mazzano each assist Palladino's goals, and Palladino's been a big, strong contributor for the women's soccer team all season. So it's good to see her keeping the momentum going. But yeah, women's soccer, hopefully they can get some wins this weekend to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, I was talking with Seamus a little earlier, and he just said it was this frustrating game on Saturday because they had opportunities early that they weren't able to convert on, and then just one of those days where what the opponent is shooting just finds its way into the net sometimes, and it just was something that he felt that they controlled play for good portions of that game, and it was just one of those games where the breaks just didn't seem to go their way. But I think definitely, they've had success against Gwynedd in the past. I think they should be competitive. Gwynedd, they earned a tie last year at Newman, game that really locked them in for the playoffs when they earned a tie. They were behind, and Gabby Palladino scored with about 10 minutes remaining to last year to even up that game and earn the draw on the road. And so you look at that, that should be a competitive game as well. So I think there's opportunity for them here. 2 out of 3 games at home. Obviously, when you play Marywood, that's going to be a difficult game. But having Gwynedd and Newman this week, the opportunity to get some results and try to lock in on the playoff spot.
So on Wednesday, women's soccer, it's actually a doubleheader with field hockey going first and then women's soccer second. So make sure you pull up the DWS and cheer on your Mighty Macs.
It's also a pink out, FYI, sponsored by the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. So wear your pink.
So wrapping things up here, you know what time it is. It's winter sports time. Swimming starts this week. Yes, swimming starts this week. The Immaculata swimming teams open their season on Friday when they travel to Elizabethtown for a tri-meet with Elizabethtown and Goucher, and they are coming home on Saturday for their home openers when they host Moravian for a dual meet at the Alumni Hall pool at 1 o'clock. So we have an away match and a home match this week. A lot of swimming going on. Hopefully get some good results.
Yeah, it's good to see that, we're getting into winter sports time and, start with swimming. Keep an eye on GoMightyMax.com for the swimming preview that will be out later in the week as we move in on these first few meets for the team. The tri meet with Elizabethtown and Goucher on Friday, then back home for a dual meet against Moravian. They're ready to go. Talking with Coach Pace today a little bit. They're excited to get their season underway, and women's team has some new strong returning swimmers and some new swimmers that he's added in. So they're really looking forward to. And the men, you're going to see Mike DiMattei, who's one of our tennis player that's also one of our better swimmers here at Immaculata. So it should be a good season for them as they get rolling, as they start here in this part of the year, get a few meets in, and then they take a break and come back in January and then compete as they head into the championships in February that are at St. Mary's College in Maryland and their immaculate swimming venue that they have there. I know they look forward to that each year, and it should be a competitive season for our swimmers. Now would be a good time to bring in our guest this week. We have Rachel Madden, a senior on the Immaculata field hockey team. We will have Rachel join us after this quick break on the Tuesday Talk IU Athletic Podcast. And welcome back to the Tuesday Talk IU Athletic Podcast. Joining us this afternoon is Rachel Madden of the field hockey team. Welcome to the show, Rachel.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. Kind of get started. Good results for your team recently. But what brought you to Immaculata, and what do you enjoy most about being here?
What brought me to Immaculata was I made a recruiting page because I found out by my junior year of high school that I really wanted to play college field hockey. So I had at the time the assistant coach reach out to me about Immaculata, and my dad actually works out by here in Vanguard. So he kind of told me about this school, and I would say the spring of my junior year of high school, we came out and we did a tour with Coach Kate. And at the time, the assistant coach, it wasn't Meredith at the time, it was someone else. I came actually during spring break, so the campus was a little bit dry, like with people, but I fell in love with it the second that I walked onto campus, and the staff and coaching staff being so welcoming the second I walked on campus.
What do you enjoy most about being here now that you're here at Immaculata?
I enjoy just like the presence of my team, the community, and overall, like just the academics and being able to be a collegiate athlete and doing what I love, which is playing field hockey and being a part of the psychology program here and wanting to pursue a graduate degree.
What do you enjoy most about being part of the IU Field team? You guys are all very close. You have a lot of friends on the team. So what's your favorite part about being part of the team?
Just being like together as a community sense and being as a unit. I love all the girls on my team. Everyone is just so encouraging, accountable, and just overall great to any of us, whether that being like upperclassmen or even our underclassmen. So I would say just like these girls have strived me to work so hard on the field, and I wasn't able to see like how capable I was up until coming here and just feeling valued overall as a person and a teammate.
What has the experience been like watching your team grow from your first year to the present day? I mean, obviously you're a senior now, and it's been like a 4-year cycle. So what's it been like to watch your team grow?
It's been truly amazing to see the growth since when I was a freshman to now being a senior, what our team has attributed. I know my freshman year we made it to the semifinals, which was really cool because I've heard in years past that that was just like a spot that we were very close to getting but couldn't. And then by having my junior year being able to play in the Atlantic East Conference Championship is truly amazing to see what growth and progress our team has done over these past couple of years and overall like what we've been doing like in practices and seeing all that hard work being put towards being in conference championships and other Atlantic East semifinals and all that.
Piggybacking off of that, that about last year's championship, I was fortunate enough to be on the trip with you guys team last year. And what was that experience just like? From leaving here to getting on the bus, going there, and just being involved in a game of that magnitude?
At first, it didn't even like feel real to say that like we were going up to play Marywood in the conference championship. And the bus ride was just so exciting. Everybody was very hyped up, and all the girls were like either singing or kind of dancing. And it just felt like our team unity was really strong, like going up there and having our upperclassmen seniors there too. Like lifting like all the underclassmen up too was truly incredible. And it just felt so surreal to just go up and say that like we went up there and played in a conference championship.
Obviously, then again, this past weekend, you re-entered Atlantic East Conference play this weekend. I was fortunate enough once again to be able to make the trip with the team up to Manhattanville. What was that, what was that feeling like to go up there and pretty much dominate that game, earn a big win, and then, just what was that feeling like to be back into conference play? You've had some tougher results this year, playing a strong schedule. What was it like to go up and be able to get a win in that first game in conference play?
It felt good. We've been really this week just kind of practicing the basics And to see all of our hard work and dedication just pay off into that Manhattanville game was just truly something that made our team so, so happy. And to see like the success of like both all different keys of the field. So our offense, our midfield, defense, and our goalkeepers, it felt really good to say that like we got what we wanted to get done and like what we've been working on. And I know previously, like in the past couple of weeks, we made a Word docs of things that we would want to work on and like what we could improve on in any practice or game. So to see how most of that was completed in the game against Manhattanville was truly something that made our team so happy and felt like that success was there.
Trip back was a little rough though, a little long trip with some traffic and road construction. That was a little tough.
Yeah, that definitely was a long bus ride back and was not something I think we were all prepared for because most of our games were home this year. So to have a long bus ride home was definitely something with all the traffic and construction that we dealt with. But overall, it felt good to come home with a win.
Well, speaking of home games, we got two big home games this week, Marywood and we have Winter Mercy on the road on Saturday. So obviously these are big two important games of playoff implications. So what's the mindset going into this week for you guys? Marywood, obviously you lost them in the Atlantic East Conference Championship last year, so looking to avenge a loss there. And Winter Mercy, I think you guys have played them in the first round the first 3 years. So these are big games this week. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
We're just gonna go in there hardworking and being our best that we can and just focus. I feel like that's a main thing, especially when these conference games come in, is just to focus on our play and just do the basics because the basics will get you farther in any game. And just communicating more on the field. I feel as if when we've been communicating, especially in Manhattanville, it got us to that win as well because we were seeing those through balls or we were calling for back passes. So communication was really a good key thing in the Manhattanville game, but we're going to try to bring that into Marywood and Gwynedd because Marywood is going to be a competitive game, especially since we have similar outcomes right now with our games. And also, it's gonna just be like how the championship game is. Like, we're hungry to come back out and win against them, especially since our loss against them in the championship. So, we're just gonna prepare these next couple of days for that Marywood game and just do the basics. And same thing for Gwynedd. We're gonna just go out there and keep doing what we need to do in order to get that win.
What do you see yourself doing after graduation in May? Maybe anything in field hockey, coaching, assistant coaching. You're a psychology major, so like, what do you see yourself doing after May?
So after graduation, I plan on going to grad school. I'm not sure quite yet where I would like to get my graduate program from. I am from Bucks County, so I'm also a very visual learner. So I like to just like be face to face in the classroom. So Gwynedd is a potential in being a graduate program that I would like to be in, but also as well as Immaculata. So I'm kind of just gaining my knowledge on like what program would work out best for me when it comes to being in graduate school. And I plan on being a school counselor, primarily more just for elementary school, but I'm open to like any age or grade. So just to focus on that for right now. And when it comes to field hockey coaching, I would definitely like to be involved in my club. I did play for a club for a couple of years in high school called FSC. So I would definitely maybe reach back out to them and figure out if I could do any coaching opportunities or even my high school. I went to Central Bucks High School South. So just to see if there's any positionings opening for that while I'm doing grad school.
Thank you, Rachel, for joining us today, and we wish you and the team good luck this week. We're looking forward to Wednesday's game, and then hope you guys have good results up at Gwyd and Mercy on Saturday.
Thank you guys for having me.
And we'll be back after this quick break on the Tuesday Talk IU Athletics podcast. And welcome back to the Tuesday Talk IU Athletic Podcast. That was a great interview with Rachel. We thank her for coming in. It's always fun talking with her and with our athletes. That will wrap it up for this week. Thank you again to our guest, Rachel, and my counterparts, Larry Dielman and Connor Kikowski. This is Andy Alvarez. Hope you join in again next week for another edition of the Tuesday Talk IU Athletics Podcast. Romax.